Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So first of all, I want to give a huge thank you to all of you who liked and viewed and subscribed after my last video, which was my first video a few days ago. It meant so much to me. I'm so grateful, and I hope that you guys continue to like the content that I'm putting out. And you know, we're all in this together, so it's really nice to you know, be able to share my perspective on things, and I appreciate that you appreciate my perspective on things. So yeah, so that being said, we're gonna talk about the full moon in Sagittarius today. It actually already happened. Now I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so it happened, I believe it went exact sometime this morning. I think probably around 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So yes, this is kind of late. I probably should have uploaded this weekend, but I didn't, so it's okay. You know, full moon energy is definitely, you can feel it, you know, a couple days before, a couple days after, so this is still very relevant. You know, and to be honest, the full moon itself is not like the huge deal at the moment. It's actually still that opposition going on between all the energy in Cancer and all the energy in Capricorn. That's really still the major thing right now. It's still going on. We don't have that water trine, but we still do have a few really helpful aspects. We do still have planets making trines to Neptune, but we don't have like that grand water trine. Yeah, so there's still some beneficial things going on in regards to the full moon. So this week is probably still going to be very intense for you guys. To be honest, you guys, last week was crazy for me. Actually, I was going to tell you about that. So in my first video, I did mention that I was supposed to have a job interview that day, right? So it got rescheduled, and it was going to be the next day on Friday. So Thursday night, I edited that video, and I wanted so bad, I wanted to put it up that day, and that's why I kept saying today and today and today, even though it didn't go up until the next day. But I was trying so hard to get it up, and it wasn't gonna work out. Like, I was uploading it to YouTube at like 10:30 that night, and you know, we tried to be in bed by then, so I was like, okay, fine, it's okay, I'll just upload it in the morning. So I got up that morning, you know, because I had everything ready. I had the thumbnail done, I had the video done, it was completely done. I just had to upload it and make it public. So that morning I got up, did all that stuff, got it public, had it up, ready to go, posted it in a few spots, and I happened to look at my Time Nomad app, and I saw that water trine had actually gone exact pretty much at that very same moment. And so the moon was at 18 degrees Scorpio, which is the degree of my rising sign, and my moon is 16 degrees Scorpio. So I was very much impacted by that water trine. So, and it was just so amazing to me that, you know, I posted it at that very moment, and then the video did so good. And I don't know if any of you guys know, but I actually do have another channel. It's a fitness channel. I haven't deleted it, but I've made all the videos private, because to be honest, I'm pretty much done with it. I just didn't have the heart to completely delete it. But none of my other videos got the same response. None of them. In the entirety that the entire time that they were even up, got that kind of response. So I just wanted to give you an example to show you like how, you know, and I had a lot of other things happen in regards to that job, and, you know, in regards to a few other things in my life last week. So last week was very intense, I'm sure for everybody, but I hope that you were all at least I hope you guys at least found some kind of blessing, you know, in last week, because it was there. It was definitely there. You just had to kind of look for it. Sometimes it might not have been as obvious, you know, because some of these energies are impacting everybody in different ways. But there was a hidden blessing last week, so I hope you were able to see it. Okay, anyway, I just had to share that. I just thought that was so cool. So we've got the, oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so the major stuff going on right now is still that opposition, and now Mercury is really in the mix too. So you guys are gonna find that because Mercury and Mars aren't exactly conjunct, but they're like a degree or two away from each other. So you're gonna find that whatever you're trying to push forward and whatever you're trying to make happen, there might be some very emotionally charged there might be some arguments about what you're trying to do, to be honest. And especially since Mercury is opposite Saturn, you might have some disagreements or discussions with like authority figures, or like your boss, or just, you know, someone in a position of power, or, you know, like your own inner adult. Okay, so on another note though, I think which is cool is the fact that, you know, Mercury's here right with the North Node. I think you're gonna get I think you guys are gonna get some good ideas, you know, or have somebody help you, or give you some information, or you might receive a message or something along those lines in regards to what you're trying to achieve in this Cancer area of your life. So, and, you know, Mars is going to give you the drive and the determination to really push this forward. So yeah, that's what's going on in regards to that. So now we'll talk about the full moon, which is the main topic of this video. But again, you know, the big energy is what's going on there still, because, you know, this is activating those eclipse points. So yeah, that's really what's going to be a main theme for us all. Whatever you see happening now is going to be, you know, basically the same kind of stuff that's playing out, which, and I know I just heard you all go, ugh. But, you know, and I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to you guys. We really need to learn to really surrender and let go, and kind of, like I said in my last video, let go and let God with some of these things, you know. Because I think the reason why we dread these so much is because it's so hard. But at the end of the day, this is what's going to be the most impactful for us, and this is what's going to be what really sets us up for success. You know what I mean? So after this is done, if you really worked with this energy and you really cooperated with it, you know, your life is going to be on a whole new trajectory. So yeah, all right, now we'll get into the full moon. Okay, so before we get into the full moon, I did want to add one quick little note to the Cancer Capricorn opposition. So like I said, Mercury being in the mix now, and how I mentioned that you might be getting some kind of you know, great idea or something like that. Mercury is in a trine to Neptune. I forgot to add that. So, you know, you might get a really great idea that's more like divinely inspired. So it might come through your dreams. You know, it might just kind of just like suddenly come to you. So I would definitely pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to the things that people are saying to you, because, you know, God speaks to us sometimes through other people. So, and especially with Mercury involved, that's kind of how it's gonna happen. So, you know, you might get a great idea or some inspiration or something regarding whatever you're trying to push forward, might, you know, literally come from God this week. So definitely pay attention to everything. Pay attention to all the signs, pay attention to numbers, pay attention to animals, pay attention to things people are saying, and pay attention to your dreams, okay? So yes, this is a good time to spend some time in meditation, because you might receive your messages and stuff like that while you're meditating. So definitely do that. Okay, now we'll get into the full moon. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, so when a full moon occurs, that means we have the sun in one sign and we have the moon in the opposite sign. So right now we have the sun at 25 degrees of Gemini, and then we have the moon at 25 degrees of Sagittarius. And so the moon is shining all his bright, amazing light on the moon, completely illuminating her. So full moons are like a time of completion. They're a time of, you know, and it's like a completion. So something's coming to an end, so something new can start. Also, it's a time of where you can really see the results of the work that you've been putting into something, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, full moons are really great. They can leave, everybody kind of experiences them differently. Some people might be extra emotional. Some people might be retaining water. I know I definitely am retaining some water. So, you know, physically it can affect you differently, but that's typically what it is. It's like a culmination point. It's the maturation point of something in your life. So, and you know, to put this in perspective though, unless this is really hitting you personally, so if it's hitting like your sun, moon, or ascendant, if it's, you know, hitting one of your personal planets or something like that, you know, full moons happen every month, okay? So this might not be, again, like I said, unless this is really hitting you very personally. Full moons happen all the time. So this isn't going to be like some big life-changing, oh my God thing, but it might be the end of something, for something really awesome for you to start, especially because our next new moon is a full moon or solar eclipse. Okay. So it's like a super moon on huge steroids, especially because it's a complete solar eclipse. So, okay. So this is important because we have this next new moon, and Cancer is a big one. So, now we do have, so this is in the sign of Sagittarius, like I said. The ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the sign of Sagittarius right now. So because the full moon is in Sagittarius, that means Jupiter is the ruling planet of this full moon. And right now, Jupiter, like I said, is in Sagittarius, but he is retrograde. So retrograde planets physically are the closest to Earth that they're going to be. So he's super, super close, which means he's super powerful, but it looks like he's moving backwards in the sky. It's not, it's just an optical illusion. But the symbolism of that is that the energy is internalized. So, you know, Jupiter is all about luck and abundance and expansion and higher learning and higher wisdom and, you know, going out there. And, you know, Sagittarius is the arrow, the archer with an arrow. So, you know, setting your sights on a huge long-term goal, or, you know, like getting yourself out there to the world, you know. So all of that stuff is very internalized right now. So, you know, this is a very, you know, things from the past could be coming up, or like, it's, you know, because Jupiter is very philosophical and it's all about God and the universe and how you view all those things. So, you know, you could be going under a complete overhaul wherever Jupiter or wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, and whatever Jupiter rules in your chart too. You know, your beliefs about those things are completely changing. So, anyway, but right now Jupiter is also still making that exact square over to Neptune. And again, like I said in my last video, Neptune is, it's all about like spirituality and, you know, things hidden behind the veil. So it's things you can't see. So, you know, it's your subconscious, you know, God and the angels and spirits and, you know, literally things you can't see. And it also dissolves boundaries and makes things very foggy and all that kind of stuff. So when Jupiter makes a square aspect, which is a 90 degrees, so if you were to look at the chart, it's actually, well, the way I always view, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I think of the planets and where they're at and where, I literally picture my own chart in my head, and that's how I understand it the best. So for me, it's like this. Anyway, okay, yeah, so when they're making a square, that means there's friction, like they're kind of arguing, right? They're not seeing eye to eye. So things are a lot more bigger and grander than they seem, or you're not really seeing things for what they are. You know, there definitely is some kind of, or things are just extra, like your goals, your long-term goals and the things that Jupiter is representing in your chart right now, they're kind of foggy. Like you're not really sure how to get there or what's gonna happen. You just know that this is what you want, you know? So, and I can completely relate to that. It's like, I know I want this. I'm not really sure completely how it looks. I'm definitely not sure how the hell I'm gonna get there, but this is what I want. So that's a little bit of the challenging aspect to this. But again, the little hidden blessing, the cool thing about this is Saturn is still making that exact sextile over to Neptune. So sextiles are, it's like kind of like a mini trine, so, or like a trine dumbed down. So I don't like, well, you guys know what I mean, but it's like a pocket of opportunity, but you kind of have to take the action and the initiative to go after it. So it's like an opportunity is presented to you, or you get the idea, or something somehow is presented to you, but you have to take the action to go get it. It's not like it just kind of falls in your lap and luck just happens out of nowhere, okay? So, which is interesting to me because that's a very Saturnian thing, is putting in the hard work, putting in the dedication to make it long lasting and stable. So, and that's to me exactly how this is playing out. So in my mind, Saturn's saying, hey, I know what you're wanting to do. I know your goals and we can make this happen. But you gotta kind of come down a little bit. You need to get your head out of the clouds. We need to clear the fog. We need to take some Windex and clear, wipe off your window, because you're not seeing things clearly. And I know you want this to happen and we're gonna make it happen, but we need to take some steps. We need to make a plan. We need to, do all that stuff. So I think what is kind of happen is, like I said, wherever Jupiter is right now, you have some goals. Things are kind of changing for you and you're not really sure how things are going to pan out in the future. The future kind of seems foggy in regards to it. So, Saturn might be revealing some kind of steps, you know what I mean? Or, it's like the path is getting slowly and slowly illuminated. Like you see this next step and then you get to that step and then maybe you see the next step and then you go to that step. So, things are really being slowly illuminated. And Saturn's giving you signs and signals and giving you little nudges of how to do this the right way, so that way it's concrete and stable and can really last and bring you some kind of material, some material success from this, because that's what Saturn is. So success in the material world. So yeah, that's the full moon, you guys. I think I will go quickly into each sign. I do want to make this quick because, to be honest, I am fucking determined to get this video up today. It is going to happen because today's the full moon, it has to. So I'm going to make this quick so that way I can edit it and get it up as soon as possible for you guys. So let's get into each sign really fast. So for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this full moon is happening in your 9th house. So basically just go back and watch what I said because this is all, Jupiter, 9th house, it's all the same thing. So, your big goals, your big aspirations, your, just you putting yourself out there to the world, your beliefs about the world, about God, about the universe, everything. So there's going to be some sort of kind of culmination point, or like you seeing the fruits of your labor in regards to these things. So maybe you've been putting yourself out there in some way and you get some kind of recognition, or because Jupiter is involved, you might receive some kind of blessing from this, or maybe some help from somebody, because 9th house is like your benefactors, the people that help you along your journey to get you to where you're, to get you to your goals. So, you might receive some help from somebody. You might receive some opportunities for education or to travel somewhere. What else? This could be, yeah, just some kind of a culmination point with this. It looks like, it also looks like, because you're having this square to Neptune in your 12th house, that this is a very big spiritual thing for you. There's a lot of spirituality, and your beliefs about everything kind of, they're shifting. So, and this might seem very foggy to you. You're kind of like, I used to believe this, but now I'm not really sure, all that kind of stuff. So, those kind of things might be coming up for you too. Or, 12th house is just, 12th house is also long distance travel or like far away places. So, those kind of themes might be coming up too. So Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, then, full moon is occurring in your 8th house of, joint resources, resources that you get from the bank, so loans, it's also debt, so taxes, inheritances, so, and Jupiter's here in the mix, so he's bringing you some sort of blessing in this. So, perhaps your partner gets something with your partner's money, increases, maybe they get like a bonus or a new job or something like that. You might get the news about the loan that you applied for, things like that. Now you are receiving a little bit of a struggle from your 11th house. So, this could be you know, maybe you're receiving some kind of blessing in this 8th house realm, but maybe it's not exactly what you thought. Or, you know, maybe you're receiving a little bit of negativity from friends and the social media in some way. I'm just throwing shit out there, okay? But yeah, there's some kind of fogginess and some sort of like disillusionment or confusion coming from friends, social networks, or, you know, maybe this is just because the 11th house is also like your social and economic goals. So like I said, maybe this just isn't what you thought it was going to be. Maybe it wasn't as much money as you thought, but at least you got it, you know what I mean? So something in regards to that kind of stuff. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the full moon is happening in your 7th house of close personal relationships. So, you know, this could be a culmination point, an ending, or the harvest time of, you know, your marriage partnership. You know, something could be happening for you guys. Now, there is a blessing here, so I don't want to scare anybody, okay? But I'm just laying it all out there, okay? You know, your marriage partnership or something great could be happening for your partner, but there's also some sort of a little bit of confusion, or something might seem a little bit too good to be true, or something in regards that it kind of affects your career or your public reputation. So this could also be, you know, the 7th house is clients and business partners. So maybe you might receive a business partner, find one, or you might be starting to finally see some clients come into your business, things like that. But something in regards to your career, this is affecting your career in some way. And it's very possible that this is not like a life altering issue. This is just, you know, kind of a little bit of an obstacle, a little bit of a hurdle that you have to cross, or something seems. So basically what I'm saying is just keep your eyes open, make sure that you have all the information, all the facts, and then maybe sit on it a little bit if you can, or at least really, really thoroughly do your research on everything first. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the full moon is happening in your 6th house, and the 6th house is your daily routines, your health and health habits. It's also your work, not necessarily your career, but your actual job. And this could be, so for the Cancers that have been actively looking for a job, you might actually find one. Because like I said, Jupiter's here and he's giving some sort of blessing. So, you know, you might find a job, you know, something in your job, you might see like a completion to a project, or, you know, receive maybe like a little bonus or something like that. Some kind of like fruits of your labor. Your boss is like, you know, you did a really great job this week, or you did a really great job with that project, you know, whatever, here's like a little gift or something like that. So, but this is, Jupiter is making a square over to your 9th house. And your 9th house, amongst all the other things that I mentioned about the 9th house already, 9th house is also like your beliefs and, you know, your integrity, doing things out of integrity and doing things for the right reasons. So maybe it's possible that your job is asking you to do things that you're not comfortable with doing. You know, you're like, fuck this is wrong, this is not right, I'm not okay with this. And maybe you finally decide to leave that job, you know, and because of that, Jupiter's bringing in a blessing for you. Or you might just have this amazing sense of relief, like a weight has been lifted and you feel so much better because you're not, you know, acting out of integrity anymore. So that's what I see for Cancer. So for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the full moon is happening in your 5th house. So this might be a completion, a culmination point, or like you're seeing the fruits of your labor in regards to your hobbies, your creative pursuits, your maybe it's entrepreneurship too. So maybe you have your own small business, or even a big business. I don't know who's watching this. You know, it's your children, all those kind of things that make you feel alive and that you love to do. So, you know, you might be able to see, maybe you finally decide to turn your creative hobbies or creative pursuits into a business, or maybe your business is really starting to take off, or you see like a a culmination point, or like the fruits of all your labor, you know what I mean? You've put in all this hard work and you're finally starting to get clients, or you're finally starting to get people to buy your product. You know, maybe something great happens in your children's life, or some kind of ending or culmination point in your children's life. You know, a lot of people are graduating college and from high school right now, so maybe that might be happening for your kid. But there is a little bit of kind of fogginess, and you're not really sure what to do between Jupiter in your 5th house and Neptune in your 8th house. So maybe, you know, you're wanting to start this business. You're finally decided, look, I want to turn my hobby into like a little side hustle or an actual business. And you're not really sure of how this is going to affect your partner's income. Or you know what I mean? Like the money that you both bring into the house, you're worried that, you know, maybe it might not be enough, or it's going to cost too much money. It's going to put you into too much debt, or something along those lines. Something with, or maybe you're thinking about getting a loan, but you're not really sure like what kind of loan you need, or all that kind of stuff. So, you know, with this kind of thing, just really do your research, because things might seem too good to be true. And I'm not saying that, you know, this business with this creative idea is too good to be true, but the steps to get there aren't very clear. So just do your research. So for Virgo and Virgo rising, this full moon is happening in your 4th house, and I'm laughing because before each sign, I do kind of like stop and think about it, and I really should write notes, but to be honest, I'm so much better at kind of stopping, meditating a little bit, thinking on it, and then coming and doing each sign as I go. And my husband's a Virgo rising, and if Dustin, if you watch this, you might chuckle a little bit, because this is hitting pretty close to home. So anyway, so for Virgo and Virgo rising, this full moon's happening in your 4th house of home, family, properties, and it's also like your emotional security too. So you might be, you know, finally deciding to move, or you are in the process of moving. This could be you selling a home or purchasing a home, or, you know, something, because Jupiter's here making a little bit of a blessing, or, you know, giving you a blessing, you know, something just within your family. You know, maybe your family dynamic has been very stressful lately. And, you know, maybe you guys are finally able to come to a, you know, a resolution. Now there is a square, you know, Jupiter's making that square over to Neptune in your 7th house. So somehow your partner is involved in this. So, you know, there's, you know, maybe like you and your partner don't know the next steps to take, or, you know, your partner has to figure their shit out before you guys can move, or, you know, some sort of something like that. Yeah. So for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the full moon is happening in your 3rd house. 3rd house is your skills, your communication, your thinking, your thought processes, and also the people that you communicate with on a daily basis. So your neighbors, your siblings, also, like just people that you interact with on a daily basis. So, and then this could be short distance travel, so like your commute to work and what you commute in, so your car, your Uber. You know, so maybe this is like you getting a new car, you know, because Jupiter's here giving you a blessing. So this is good, like you getting a new car, or maybe you're finishing out a contract, because 3rd house is like sales and contracts and things like that. So maybe you're finishing out a contract, because this is making a square aspect to your 6th house of work and daily routines and stuff. So the way I thought was like you're finishing out a contract and now you're not really sure where to go, like you have to find a new job, or you know what I mean? So this is gonna affect your daily routine in some way. You know, this could also be you learning a new skill for a job. So this is, your mind not be completely clear on all the details of this. So just really take notes, really pay attention. This is also, let's see. Yeah, you could be finishing like a group project with, at work, or some kind of like marketing campaign of some sort, and maybe receiving some benefits from that too. So for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. So the full moon is happening in our second house of money, resources. So the money that you make. So, you know, this could be you receiving, maybe you are receiving a new job or like a bonus, or maybe because Jupiter is like, you know, benefactors and things like that, maybe someone is giving you a gift, or possibly an opportunity to make more money, or you're going to be able to have the opportunity to learn something in order to make more money, something along those lines. Now this is making a square aspect to Neptune in your, well, Jupiter, not the full moon, okay, I want to make that clear. Jupiter is making a square aspect to Neptune and Pisces in your 5th house. So this is going to affect there's going to be some kind of fogginess, confusion and stuff in regards to your creative pursuits, your passions, your hobbies, maybe your small business. So, you know, maybe you're needing some money for your small business and you're not really sure how to get it, or, you know, maybe you do receive some money and you're not really sure, like, you know, should I put it here? Should I put it here? You know, you're not really sure how maybe to allocate it, or, you know, it's going to affect that. And 5th house is also children too. So, you know, maybe you get some money and then your kid needs some, you know what I mean? Like your kid needs it for, well, school's pretty much over now, I think. So, you know, or maybe your kid needs it for camp, you know what I mean? Like because Neptune dissolves everything. So it's like you get this money and then it's gone. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you don't have kids and you do receive some money, put it towards your creative pursuits or something like that. And that should be pretty beneficial for you. So for Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. So this full moon's in your sign, guys. So to be honest, this could be a completion in anything, okay? Any kind of realm in your life, you might see a completion in some way, okay? Or, you know, because Jupiter's here and he's in your sign. So, you know, he's pretty close to the full moon. So, you know, you might be receiving, you know, some kind of little blessing along with this, like fruits of your labor, or, you know, your harvest time or your completion. So, now Jupiter is making a square aspect to Neptune in your 4th house. So this might be causing a little bit of fogginess or confusion around your home or your family life. You know, maybe you get a new job, or maybe you get you know what I mean? Something in like your work life changes and now, you know, you have to move, or maybe you have, you know, something in your family dynamic is going to have to change because of this new opportunity that comes to you. Or, you know, maybe, oh my gosh, you guys, it could be anything. This is going to affect your home life or your home in some kind of way. So, now it doesn't always have to, but I'm just saying, you know, looking at how things are configured, it's possible that it could. So, just, you know, make sure that you do all your research, because things could really seem too good to be true, and it's very possible that they are. So, you know, just really, really do your homework. Make sure your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, and make sure everything's good to go first before you go ahead with something. For Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. So, this full moon is in your 12th house, and the 12th house is about endings in and of itself. You know, but it's also like, your subconscious, and things are really hidden, and it's also like self-destructive patterns. So maybe this is the end of you, like maybe you quit smoking, or you know what I mean, end some kind of bad habit. This is also, you know, but there's going to be a blessing somewhere in this area. So maybe this is you, like some kind of something like of a spiritual awakening, you know what I mean? Like, because the full moon is big and illuminated. So maybe you have some kind of big spiritual realization, or you finally get some kind of rest and retreat for a little while. You know, you guys have had a lot of craziness going on. So, you know, it's very possible that, you know, you might be able to have the opportunity to rest and really kind of sit back and relax. Now Jupiter is making a square aspect over to Pisces in your 3rd house. So, you know, there's some kind of confusion or too good to be trueness involving like short distance travel, or your siblings and family members, or people that you interact with on a day-to-day basis, or it's your communication. So, you know, you might find that it's kind of, you might be kind of off in La La Land, to be honest, because, you know, the 12th house is retreat and escape, and it's, you know, making a square to Neptune and Pisces, which is also escape and retreat and just hiding away from the world. So you might be kind of off in La La Land, but to be honest, this might not be a bad thing, because you have all this very heavy energy in your, in your sign right now. So just don't, okay, my advice, don't overdrink, okay? Don't like drink yourself into oblivion, okay? But, you know, find some healthy ways to kind of escape. And I'm sure Jupiter is going to kind of help you see those things, you know, so you might just get a little bit of a break. For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So the full moon is happening in your 11th house. And the 11th house is like social networks, your friends. It's also the internet and social media and things like that. And it's also like gains. So you might be receiving some kind of recognition for, you know, your hard work. Maybe you did start a YouTube channel, or maybe, you know, you started a new Instagram and things are really starting to pick up and people are starting to really watch your videos and look at your stuff, and, you know, you're getting subscribers or you're getting a lot of followers, and, you know, maybe you're seeing the culmination point, or the, you know what I mean? So, you know, and Jupiter is the ruler of this full moon, and he is in this sign. So, you know, you could receive some kind of blessing from this. So maybe an opportunity comes because of this, or you might get some money because of this. Now this is making, or Jupiter, not the full moon, but Jupiter is making a square aspect to your 2nd house, Neptune in your 2nd house of money and self-worth. So maybe it's possible that you, because, okay, so 11th house is 2nd from the 10th. So, and the 10th house is your career. So 2nd from the 10th is like the money that you're getting from your career. So it's possible that maybe you are getting, maybe you get like a bonus, but it's not as much as you thought. Or you get a bonus, and because Neptune likes to dissolve things, and maybe some kind of like expense comes up, and there goes your fucking bonus. So, you know, there is a blessing. And what I would say is also don't, if you receive some kind of money or something, be very careful of overspending, or loaning money to friends. That would be what I would think too. So just be careful of that. You know, if you receive some kind of offer or something that involving money that seems too good to be true, it probably is. So just keep that in mind. Cross your T's, dot your I's, do your homework. So last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So the full moon's happening in your 10th house, guys, and the 10th house is career and public reputation. So, you know, maybe you are starting to see some real results from your new career. Maybe you might be changing careers and deciding to end the one that you're in. You know, or maybe you are receiving some recognition, some public recognition for, you know, you're going to be in the spotlight in some way. So, you know, Jupiter is bringing you some sort of blessing. So you might be receiving like some kind of opportunity or some kind of money coming to you in regards to your career. And this is, you know, Jupiter's making a square aspect to Neptune in your sign. So, you know, this recognition might be short-lived, or maybe you might feel like it's not really like well-deserved, or you feel you're feeling some kind of way about this public reputation or public recognition, or maybe, you know, you get a promotion and you feel like, you know, you're like the details around this aren't very clear, or like you get a new promotion or a new status or something, and, you know, the details on this aren't very clear. It kind of seems a little too good to be true, or you're feeling kind of uncomfortable about this. Something about it just is feeling off and kind of foggy. So I would say that if it if it seems too good to be true, I just do your homework, okay? I don't want to rain on your parade because it very well is possible that, you know, just some details need to be worked out first. You know what I mean? So just do your homework. Like I've been saying for every sign, cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure everything's in place first. Because, you know, Jupiter is bringing you a blessing here. So it's kind of like a look deeper, make sure everything's cool first before you move forward. All right, guys, there you have it. There's our full moon forecast for the full moon in Sagittarius. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope, you know, if you're seeing any of these things play out in your own life, definitely drop them below in the comments. That would be really cool to see, you know, how this stuff is playing out for everybody. If you have any video suggestions, please let me know and drop them below in the comments. You know, like I said before, I do want to do some kind of, because I think I really want like the average person who just like reads their horoscope online or whatever to really understand that you're so much more than your sun sign. There's so much more to this. And you know, no one has to get as crazy and deep as I or a lot of the rest of us do, you know, but you're so much more than just your sun sign. There's so much more to explore and understand, and you know, there's much more to you than just that. So I really want to teach people you know, more. So if you have any video suggestions, definitely let me know. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, of course. And also, if you like the video or if you like me and you feel so inclined, please definitely subscribe. I'm not really sure, like, this is only my second video, so I'm not really sure as far as like an upload schedule or whatever, but I would definitely like to at least upload a video once a week minimum. So we'll see how that goes. So yes, guys, I hope you enjoy this full moon. I hope Jupiter does, you know, bring you some sort of blessing from this. So, and I know this energy is really hard with that opposition, but you know, if we really push through this, you know, this is, it's like I said, this is hard for a reason, okay? Because this is the area of our life where God is like, look, you need to pay attention to this, okay? So yes, it's hard, but it's gonna be so worth it when we're done, okay? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one.